Hello everyone, my name is AP the Word One, and welcome back to episode 5 of Full Metal Panic Fumoffu. This time we're dealing with the short stories of the Pure yet Impure Grappler and Trespassing in Good Faith, which come from the second short story collection of the light novel. They're stories that are back-to-back, and they revolve around basically the same character, the captain of the karate club, where you get to deal with it. If you've been listening on been on X for the last couple months, maybe the anime community, you'll see a scene from the Pure yet Impure Grappler. It's a bit of a funny moment, but let's talk about it. So at the beginning, Kamina and Kyoko are running away. They pissed off some people because Kyoko was getting hit on. Kamina took it over a little bit extreme, kind of kicked their asses, and now they have to run away and get punished. They will obviously get saved by the club captain. She doesn't realize who he is, and she discovers later. The scene where that she kind of kicks their asses like they're running away made me think both her and Sosuke kind of overdo it. They're a good bunch of group to each other. It just seemed like they're made for each other, like based off that scene, because she overdoes it and so does he. So it definitely kind of seems like a good match made in heaven. Just made me realize why they're a good couple in many respects. Yes, Kamina is a little bit more level-headed, but in some certain scenarios. But she has her moments. Anyway, one of the things I will praise about the anime in this section, I do think the Pure yet Impure Grappler kind of misses some stuff with the anime. Is that when Kamina comes to give him a kiss or fake out the kiss, they kind of show his eyesight not being super great, and I actually do like that. It's a nice moment. Now, after this happens, in the light novel we get a little bit more detail, and it kind of sets up the scene about how Sosuke is going to react to some grapplers. Allow me to read you a little bit of a portion. The next day, at the edge of the school grounds after class, "Did that happen to you?" Sagura Sosuke asked. He wore his usual sullen expression and tight frown, but his brow was furrowed beneath his disheveled black hair. "Yeah, it was incredible. He looked like Bruce Lee," Kamina said, gazing at Sosuke from the side. "Yeah, you just can't beat a bare-handed fighter, so gallant and striking." She watched him closely as he spoke, in a manner designed to elicit a response. Sosuke's response was serious and cold. "That's a naive way of thinking. What makes you say that? I suspect that the restaurant staffer was merely forced to fight barehanded because he didn't possess a proper weapon." "I don't think that's what happened. It's the same," Sosuke continued. "Perhaps he lacked a decent arms supplier. As a show of gratitude, I should provide him with an assault rifle, or anti-tank rockets, perhaps." Bear that in mind when we get to the grappler scene. Now, another thing, there's a couple other aspects that I do want to talk about, but the reason they're coming to take down the building, yes, it looks old, but it's by the fire department. Like, in the fire department had no problem in the past, but now they're a little bit more upset, and they want it down. So they've ordered the school to get rid of it. So it's up to her job. They're not getting rid of the club. They just have to move somewhere else, but they're not happy about it. So they get to the club. They got to challenge these three boys. Sosuke's all for it. But here's the thing, though. No one said a fair fight. Just they have to beat him in a fight. Now, one other aspect the light novel does that I liked is that because they don't have names, Kamina gives each of these guys names. Macaron, Chocolat, and there is a third one, actually. Hold on. I thought it was going to be easy to remember, but apparently I was not. Waffle, yeah. So she gives all three kind of internally. It's not something in the anime could necessarily determine, but I guess they could have given some lines, but yeah. So from the scene from the anime, you see that Sosuke knocks these three guys out in different manners. The first guy gets bazookaed, basically get assault rifled with fake rounds. The next one gets gassed, and the final one gives him a grenade, and then knocks him out. It's a funny moment. Then, of course, the captain, he shows up. They have a little bit of sparring, and then when it's time to get serious, he puts on his dorky glasses that they don't add to the seriousness. You would think that he would try to get something much cooler. Maybe his family could have. He's the captain of the martial arts club. They would give him try to give him some better glasses. But eventually he kind of recognizes the voice of Kamina because she's worried about this manager position, and this unfortunately he lets his guard down, and Sosuke defeats him. Now, light novel actually does a really nice shot. I'll bring that up. I want to show you at the moment. I don't think the anime really captures just the beauty of this scene. I really like it. Sorry, let me bring the capture device up. Get that nice and big. All right, here. Let me show you. Yeah, I think it's mostly to do with Sosuke's fist, like all energized and everything, and then the kind of dorky look. I just, the anime just didn't capture that moment personally. Now they are going to go above and beyond with the next segment. We'll get into that. We will discuss that. So the next portion, it's maybe a couple days or so, but basically the captain, he wants a rematch. He tries to get Sosuke to rematch him by giving him his locker. That was, of course, a terrible idea because he blows it up. And then he comes and tries to fight him. Sosuke kind of manages to run away, and that's when he hits the janitor, and they're forced to kind of help out the school to get his approval. I will say in the light novel that because the captain spent the entire night in the he spent the entire night outside. He was has a fever. Kamina had a sweet moment with him in the line out. I'm like, oh, okay. And then of course when they run away, they got the artwork fantastic. I appreciate they kind of cut the thing out, but they do add something a bit weird. The animation's on point with this episode with the fist of the Nier. It looks super fantastic. He destroys the school groundskeeper, the custodian. How he not thought that was Sosuke is beyond me. The guy's got the great shirt on. I don't know. It's just funny scene. So unfortunately, they have to kind of get his approval. So we get this scene here. This part in the background, it's like a couple of frames, but I'm like, why did we need to have this? I would have liked to have a close-up shot of this. But yeah, so let's discuss. They got to help the teacher. One interesting note is in the light novel, it could happen earlier in the volume 1, but we know actually her name is Mikiara Ren. So I'm like, oh, she actually has a name. She's still pretty, but it's a nice, interesting touch that we get her name. It could happen in the first collection. We still got plenty to go through, but yeah. So they deal with their forced order. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you, and you've probably seen the thumbnail, is the abomination, which it is. We were forced to see this scene. No, this is just wrong. The creators, I know what they're thinking. This is wrong. And then it's also mentioned this way in the light novel, but why? What? Did we really need this scene? Animators? I'm just saying, I still think they're fucking brilliant. It's just wrong. But yeah, so they're forced to help out. They're not very good at working each other because it's like a competition to them. And we get to the final moments. The one thing they cooperate on is cooking, and they cook this man's koi fish that has been in the pond. It throws him overboard, the stuff that's going around the school, which is a lot more detailed in the anime than it is in the light novel. And he sets him off, and he decides to try to kill him. I want to talk about this because they animated perfectly from the light novel. The anime is superior in regards to this scene, this portion of what is it? Trespassing of good faith. Yeah, they did an excellent job with this portion. Super good. They gave us what I liked about the anime is they gave us a few moments of him just trying to kill him, and it is glorious. The animation's like, oh my god, and then the students see them like, yeah, that is a war-torn zone, and they're all beaten up. It is so good. So I do think in this regards the anime is superior. Like you wouldn't necessarily need to watch the light novel, but I mean read the light novel if you want to just be anime only. Now, before we begin, because we moved on to volume 2, there's some stuff we gotta show, of course, from the colored section. So let me move my ugly mug out of the way. Get this beautiful premise. All right, so let's see the big fold out. What we got here? Hold on, I will show it to you. So we got, this is the first this is volume 4, presumably, volume 5. The girl I don't remember exactly, and then of course we have the beautiful Tessa, because she's going to be part of the story later. So, very fine poster indeed. No, I always love my Tessa. She's my waifu. But there is one thing I missed. So we do have the fish scene, and you see how the green eyes and everything, like the anime captured him in the psycho moment. Then we also, because I missed it the first time, because I was just anime. I mean, I read the light novel. I didn't realize the beginning had a picture of Tessa waking up from that morning on the uneventful days of Commander. So we get to see the bathing suit. Now, I do want to talk about this. We do get to see that Michaela and Tsubasa are going to have something. From what I gather, we're not. The anime is never going to cover this. I'll cover this, of course, so we'll talk about it. But yeah. Now, we've covered that. Good scene. We got to talk about the next couple of episodes going forward. We'll get back to the camera. So, we got to discuss the future plans. So, with the next episode, it's going to be a hard cell fetish and the patience of darkness. And that's what's going to happen for episode 6. And then we get another episode from the first volume, the collector's edition, the War Cry of Excessiveness. Then we're done. So my plan is there's going to be no episode review this Saturday. We're just gonna keep the 2 episodes this week. The following week we're gonna do the hard cell fetish and then the War Cry of Excessiveness, and then I'm gonna cover the rest of the light novel, what is missed, or what I believe I missed. Because in the first collector's edition we have the Lethal Weapon of Blasphemy, and we're gonna also have the Captain Amigo and Golden Days, and then the Suicide of Inconvenience. So those are going to be our last 3 from the collector's edition. So we keep it. I think we'll see how it goes. Maybe I might have this be like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I'm not 100% sure. I got a little bit of time to plan, but yeah. So I think that's how we're going to do it. The reason you might be wondering, well, you have plenty of episodes. I mean, it makes sense to do the 3, but I'm going to be doing the goddess ones together. So I'm going to sort of do as a combined episode. And then we have like 10. And then so it will work out perfectly. And of course, then I have a lot more light novels. It's just going to work out better this way. Trust me. Anyway, with that, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully have a wonderful Thursday, on a good Friday. Catch you guys next time. I've been enjoying Fumoffu. Fuma's been really funny. Though, reading back to back, it has its ups and downs. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hype if you can. Catch you guys later.